Hello everyone, it's a pleasure to be here talking to you. This is a surprise live video. I did not meant to do it, so that's why I did not advertise before. But I want to tell you two things. Number one is that I am going to be here with you next Saturday around 1 p.m. California time. Therefore, it's 5 p.m. in New York time. And I'm going to discuss with you about how we sense presences or entities or spirits around of us when we are falling asleep especially. Of course, I'm not saying everyone senses that, and of course I'm not saying it's the case always of everyone who is about to leave the body, but many people who do leave the body, but even when they don't, but they are sensitive, they may sense there is some sort of presence around, and it can generate different types of reactions. Sometimes it's positive, sometimes it's negative. So I'm going to be discussing about that, and I'm going to give you opportunity to ask your questions. Of course, there is so many different angles that we could discuss from the point of view of what generates that, how we can distinguish the sensations that we sense, if that is positive or not. We can discuss about how to cleanse the situation or how to be able to evaluate how that affects us. So many different angles. Of course, it's very hard to cover them all in one video because we need proper explanation. There is so many different aspects to discuss from the point of view of personal experience, how people normally react, and also from the point of view of research. But that's why I wanted to do a live video on that. I'm going to do a brief introduction, and then I am going to share with you some of the main topics or main aspects about that and let you ask your questions, because then we are going to be able to go deeper into what is important to you. Right now I am at a friend's house. I am in San Francisco and I'm enjoying very much my time here. So the second thing I wanted to share with you was that, sorry for that, something fell. So the other thing I wanted to share with you is that yesterday I had a very pleasurable evening because it was the premiere of an interview I did with scientist Federico Fagin. I don't know if you are familiar with him, only those who are more into the physics or study of physics knows him better, but he's someone very influential in our modern times, because the fact that you and I can communicate here via our touch screen and our cell phones or our computers, that is in large part thanks to him, because he's the person that invented the microprocessor. So instead of us having like one room with those huge computers that we had in the past, so only big companies would ask for one to be built for them, then we started having the possibility of having the microprocessor in a small scale, and therefore we can have them in our cars, in our appliances, in our cell phone, in our iPads, and everywhere. So that is so critical for society. It made the computers or computation popular to the general public. So this is of great impact. So I wanted to interview Federico, and I did, in my opinion, a very nice interview because I had a great time. But also, the reason that I mainly wanted to explore his ideas is because Federico had some sort of experience that was a mix of an out-of-body experience, but also with some expansion of consciousness. So when you have that type of experience people call enlightenment, this is rare experience if we think in terms of percentage of the population who experiences it, but this is also a not so uncommon experience that wouldn't allow us to study that. So there are many cases and many reports, and there are a number of scientists who are dedicating to study that because themselves have experienced it. The point is that most of them do not come forth to say about the experience they have had and do not come forth to study about the experience. But in the case of Federico Fagin, I just noticed that he yes, acknowledge the experience he has had, the turn it made him take in his life in terms of the focus of his study, because he used to study the world, but from a material point of view, and now he studies the world, but from a multidimensional point of view, taking into consideration not only the level of reality that we can see here with our physical bodies, but also a subtler reality. So it was such a pleasure to talk to him about that, and it has been a greater even pleasure to see the job done and the presentation. We presented to a crowd of also scientists, but lay people interested on these topics in general, quantum physics and how it combines with spirituality, how much of the spiritual knowledge, or what can we call that, the transcendental knowledge, or the idea that there might be something beyond this physical life only, engaged into science. So all of these people that are into this type of thinking, they were present. So we had a big crowd, perhaps around 100, 150 people even, and great time. It is going to be available in about a month in different platforms, so I will most definitely let you know here, and we'll prepare a nice trailer so that you can taste it. But I wanted to share with you because that was a happy moment. That's why I came to San Francisco especially for this, and it was completely worth it. I wish you could be here with me, but anyway, I'm sharing a little bit. And for our talk next Saturday at 1 p.m. LA time, I am going to leave all of the details in the description here, okay? So later today, you have here in the description the link, the time, the different time zones, and everything in detail. I hope to talk to you then next Saturday about these intriguing topics. Thank you. See you then. Bye-bye. Thanks.